Microsoft has made several moves that are very offensive, and you could maybe even say moves to take them away from Sony. Now, at the same point in time, I think that Sony has responded well within what they're able to do and what they're able to accomplish by buying the studios that they've bought up, and also by creating games and deals with newer studios like Haven and all these other studios that they've managed to create deals with to help them grow as studios and create PlayStation games from the onset. Now, this is something that they're going to have to continue to do. They can't afford to go toe to toe with Microsoft. And what I mean by that is Microsoft has unlimited money, and basically at the end of the day, Sony doesn't. Like they have much less money, and Microsoft is going to be able to go out there and can pretty much buy what they want. And even money on hand after Activision is just a ton of money, and they're going to be able to do it. Now, this kind of rumor comes up, and possibly would be something that's a bit of a takeaway from what Sony is trying to do, but it is more in line with what Microsoft has been talking about doing for a couple of years now. So don't be surprised to see this happen. And I think, it might actually be one of those things that comes true from the sounds of it. But there is a lot to talk about, so why don't we go ahead and jump into it right now. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Crap Gamer, and of course, this is Crap Gamer Reviews, your home for gaming news, opinions, reviews, and much more. You'll probably notice a few changes around here, but hopefully that doesn't stop you from giving us a like, and possibly consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some of your free time with me today. It means the world, and I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. I know you're busy with school, work, family, friends. You've got gaming you want to do yourself. So the fact that any of you take the time out to spend with me watching my videos just means the world to me. And please leave a like if you wouldn't mind. It helps out the channel and helps the content to be seen. So I would very much appreciate that. So thank you guys. With that being said, I wanted to jump into this. So we know that Microsoft is looking to buy several Japanese game studios. The thing is, it's been pretty clear over the last few years that Microsoft has been very active looking to actually purchase game studios in order to make their titles exclusive to Xbox, largely in response to Sony have a number of major exclusives that they have. And that's no more obvious than what we see right now based on, Horizon Forbidden West releasing. Like, people are losing their mind over this game. Largely stubbornly remained on PlayStation. An example of how proactive Microsoft is being. Clearly, the ZeniMax, also the Activision buyout, all the other studios. I think that just goes to show the incredible lengths to show that Microsoft is indeed, in it to win it. They're for real when it comes to this stuff. So people need to kind of understand that and realize that they're not leaving anytime soon. Although no studio has been specifically cited in this rumor, there are clearly more than a few. The most likely candidates, Bandai Namco, or actually Konami. It's entirely possible that for the right price, both would be willing to consider the sale for at least their gaming departments, particularly Konami in recent years, as they've shown very little interest in making anything other than pachinko machines. So again, there was also some rumors recently with Bandai Namco and possibly Sony due to a tweet, but that realistically had nothing to do with a possible buyout. Microsoft, on the other hand, I know people keep saying this. They can't buy a Japanese company. They can't buy a Japanese. They can. They actually can. They can indeed buy one. And it's something that we could see happen before too long. We'll have to see what happens long term with this kind of stuff. But Microsoft can really buy what they want. They can, they're not going to buy Nintendo. They're not going to buy Sony. But they could definitely go out and buy one of these developers. They already have a Japanese developer in, the developer that does Ghostwire Tokyo, right? They're a Japanese team in Japan. So, it really kind of comes down to the right kind of example that they wanna be after. You know what I mean? What do they think? What do they think is going to bring them the most success? They obviously, even if it's just cloud-based success in Japan, you got to have the content that people actually want, and that's something that they're going to have to kind of look into before too long. So, I do hope that that's something that we see before too long, and I would love to see them pick up someone like that. Like, listen, am I like a big Bandai Namco fan? No. Am I a Konami fan? Yeah, actually, like listen, Konami could be a situation where if either Microsoft or Sony were to buy them, that would be great for the industry because they're not being used. They're not putting out any games. So it would be a tremendous boon to the industry, a tremendous boon for the quality of the games. And, I think we would get so much content that it would be unbelievable, and so many people would be happy with what we're getting, like as opposed to now where all those great Konami games are just kind of going to waste, and it just kind of sucks to see that continue to happen, and I do hope that something happens here. Now, does this mean that this is 100% for sure happening? Of course not. But it is nice to kind of speculate and to look at these types of things and go, oh, well, that's definitely something that would, change the industry and perhaps change Microsoft's fortune. Obviously, there's other people out there and other options, and people think like Square Enix or From Software. But I don't think that Microsoft is going to pick up From Software. I mean, Sony's invested with them. Square Enix is another one that I think would be more likely to go with Sony. It's kind of doubtful. Both developers have a long history with PlayStation, and so it's believed that Sony may already actually own something of a stake in From Software. And of course, they bailed out Square Enix a long time ago and then ended up selling back the shares to them when they kind of got on their feet or whatever. Microsoft wants to expand its gaming sector, of course, and by proxy bringing more exclusives into its own platform, and especially some sort of Japanese exclusives would help tremendously to be able to do that. So that's something that we all should kind of keep our eye on as well going forward. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very, I think, prudent to to see kind of what's going to happen in the future here. But I do think that Microsoft has something in the works that we don't know about, and we'll continue to see some of these things here in the future. And that's exactly what Microsoft needs to do. They need to get people excited. They need to get people excited in other places outside of the US and like the UK as well. Like, that's something that I think is a big boon for for basically everybody, right? It's you got to have, like, Sony, the PlayStation brand is such a big brand everywhere, and I think that's what Microsoft needs for, I know they're going with Game Pass as the big thing, but they really need to have Game Pass be something that is super popular everywhere. And hopefully that's something that they will actually be able to kind of embark on and embrace. And it's just, to me, it's such a strange thing to think about Microsoft buying these types of teams, but it also makes just a ton of sense for them to do so. So with that being said, I can link this article. You guys can check it out. What do you guys think? Please don't message me saying they can't buy a Japanese studio. I've gotten messages like that before. They can, actually. So yeah, just throwing that out there. Thank you so much for watching. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. Crap gamer out.